Are you ready to experience the Xbox again?
I'm so ready. I'm so ready to experience the Xbox One. And there can be only one, because that's apparently what it is now. As I said on Twitter, Microsoft revealed the fucking Highlander, which is very exciting. It's very exciting. I can't wait for the PlayStation Kurgan to come out.
The thing I think that's just kind of weird for me is that I have been referring to the first Xbox as, like Xbox One for years. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to have to be like the original Xbox or something clunky and awkward that, doesn't just get the message out there. I can say 360 for 360 and shorten that, but I can't just say Xbox because it's the whole freaking brand.
I think that's what they would want. I think they want Xbox, then Xbox 360, then Xbox One, and then Xbox Diet.
You know what? That would be such a good name if they do a slimmed down version of the one.
Xbox Diet. Oh God, that's pretty terrible.
This is futuristic thinking here.
They can have that one for free.
Roadmap, yep.
Yeah, they can have that one. They've got the balls to do it.
And they can come back with the original. Some
classic Xbox One classic.
Crystal Xbox.
Oh God. So, Blu-ray.
Yep. 500 gig hard drive, 8 gigs of RAM. I mean,
the center of your entertainment experience.
It looks like a DVD player. And I think they might have even admitted this is what we were thinking is let's focus on the entertainment aspect and make this look like a media player.
Yeah, I think something small and forgettable as far as the box goes is probably a deliberate design decision, because they want this in your home, under your TV, doing everything that my smart TV can already do.
Well, and that worked for Nintendo back in the 80s when they launched the Nintendo Entertainment System in North America with that front tray design. It was made to look like a more general entertainment console than some big flashy, wood-paneled game console. That was deliberate then, and I think they might be deliberately trying to change the way we look at our, home entertainment appliances.
Well,
trying.
Right. Well, that's an operative word.
I wonder how much time they actually dedicated to the entertainment talk in their event. Because it seemed to go on and on and on.
I will have the answer for that for you soon, but I don't have it right now.
There were a few games, but nothing we didn't expect to happen,
It was Forza,
Call of Duty,
Break, and Call of Duty Ghosts, and miscellaneous. And the only mention of Halo was a premium TV show, which sounds wrong. I don't like premium TV show. I don't know what that means. But it will definitely mean something annoying on top of all the other annoying
things. It's going to have some sort of ridiculous smart glass integration that you're going to use with your Windows 8 tablet and your Xbox 360 controller. People are going to be able to vote on the outcome of scenarios.
Pull out your Windows phone, buddy.
Oh, it's the future. The thing I find that's kind of interesting about... they're talking about how it's this entertainment box, and they're showing it flit back and forth between, you're playing a game, now you're watching a show, now you're playing a game, now you're watching a show. And who does that? Does anybody do that?
You'll do that once when you first unbox it, I bet.
Just to see how fast it is? It's patently ridiculous.
I can see to be fair now, don't get me wrong, very skeptical about the Xbox One. I've got lots of criticisms for the Xbone, don't worry about that. But the swapping, the snap mode, I can see some use for that. Just going by the PS Vita, for example, it can be handy to break from a game and then just do some check up on some internet things, browser things, Twitter things. Of course, I do have a mobile phone on me at most times, so it would probably be more convenient to check my mobile or my iPad and still have the game running. But for those people who don't have that, it might be useful to, I'm halfway through Halo, I want to check my emails, or I want to check a website quickly, or even want to look through a walkthrough on game FAQs or something, and they can just snap to it and then snap back.
Right. I mean, I don't want to diminish the feature, but for that to be one of the main things they touted here, I mean, that was one of the first, I would say, 3 or 4 announcements they made was the switching back and forth feature. But
yeah, and it's pretty much, and I agree with you. I think the Snap to thing is an innovation. It's an innovation that others are including or have included in the past. I mean, that Steam does this with their overlay, more or less. It's just sort of branded and tied into the OS design of the Xbox, and really this whole Windows blocky flat initiative that seems to be going across all of the platforms that they offer, which is fine. And I think, like Windows 8 works well for tablets, I think Windows 8 will work well for a console.
If I've learned one thing about Windows 8, it's that it works perfectly on everything except my fucking computer. Other than that, works a charm. I can see it with all the movie swipey, Xbox do this shit that they're going to be putting on the Xbox One, then Windows 8 will work perfectly for that. I don't want that on. I don't want a machine that can turn itself on because I said something that sounded a bit like Xbox On out loud. I might turn that feature off. But, you know, for those that get off on that, it's there. For them, that's great. It's got that kind of gadget, techie appeal, but I don't think it's going to be the mainstream adopted thing that Microsoft would want it to be. I think it was Lee Alexander who said it's basically for very rich, privileged people that can do all that shit and play with iPads and their phones and integrate it all with the smart glass stuff. That's not really the general consumer. That is, as popular as these products are, something like Xbox One that takes advantage of all these things is still something of a niche audience. A big niche, but not a massive mainstream appeal. You know, the Wii worked because it appealed to people that weren't that into gadgets, weren't that into technology, many of which still had like standard definition televisions. In fact, many PS3 and 360 users still, for many years, had standard televisions. So something like this is trying to be ahead of the curve, when I think really, as far as console gaming goes, being on or even a little bit behind the curve is the secret to getting mass adoption.
Well, and the other big disadvantage that they announced was that there's no backwards compatibility for 360 or XBLA titles. And I didn't think there would be, but I was secretly, hoping that XBLA games would work.
Yeah, I mean, they made
something invested in that platform.
That
disappointing.
It just astounds me. Even though a lot of people say, backwards compatibility doesn't mean anything, most people don't do it. As far as the digital shit goes, as far as XBLA and PSN shit goes, I think there is a good case to be made for bringing them over. Things like Castle Crashers and Braid and Limbo, all these awesome games that will just be inaccessible unless you keep the 360 hooked up. And who does that? I don't have a PS2 still hooked up. And that it really does astound me when Microsoft, of all the companies, was so proud of Xbox Live, so proud of this identity that it gives you. This is your gamer tag. When you game, this is who you are. These are your products. Sit back and gloat at your amassed collection. To give users that much investment in their online identity and online possessions, and then to say, well, you can't take them with you when you upgrade, it shocks me. And again, to reiterate the point I made a minute ago, I recently bought Clive Barker's fucking Undying on Good Old Games.
Why would you do that?
You admitted it too.
Yeah. Why did you do that? No, I take your point. You're absolutely right. And and it's interesting. A lot of the features you mentioned, the gamer score and achievements and all of that, those are going to be transitioning over and enhanced and part of your overall, I guess, Xbox account thing. And it is really unfortunate that the hardware, there's not going to be a support for these games and this software in the transition. I think it does mean that the 360 is going to be around for a while longer then.
Mhm.
I don't think they're going to be so quick to ditch it entirely like they were going from Xbox
Not when
to
there's
Xbox
such
360.
not when there's such an audience still for those digital games.
Exactly. So that's at least a little bit heartening. While I wouldn't expect there to be a whole lot of development going on, at least the hardware may be available. And there's even hope maybe of one more hardware revision at an inexpensive price point to introduce people.
Mhm.
So that could be worse. But yeah, I agree. It's really a shame that I'm just glad I have a backup Xbox 360 that I'll be able to transition to once this one immolates.
It's funny you say that because I know people who are trying not to use their current 360 because they're afraid that it will die. They want to get to the Xbox One before they, start using it again. And they won't be able to do that because there's no transferring of games. So, but hey, you can invite 1,000 of your closest friends to join your Xbox Live's friends list. So there's that.
Baby steps, I guess.
I wouldn't be against them setting up a Kickstarter to help them save up the money to make Xbox Live all powerful and smart.